The government of Ghana will fund the cost of public senior high schools for all those who qualify for entry from the 2017-2018 academic year onwards. Free SHS will mean that, in addition to tuition, which is already free, there will be no admission fees, no library fees, no science center fees, no computer lab fees, no examination fees, no utility fees. There will be free textbooks, free boarding, and free meals. Free SHS will also cover agricultural, vocational, and technical institutions. A well-trained, confident, and contented teacher is at the heart of my government's delivery of quality education. The views of teachers will be sought on education policy, innovation, and implementation. Their professional development and needs will be treated with respect, and we shall ensure the teachers' salaries and allowances are paid regularly and on time. Teacher trainee allowances, as already announced by the Vice President, will be restored in the first budget of the Akufo-Addo presidency, scheduled for next month. In addition to these, my administration will also focus on the provision of incentives that will motivate teachers and reward their hard work in the classroom. Government will collaborate with GNAT, NAGRAT, and other teaching associations to facilitate an affordable housing scheme for teachers. Teachers will be afforded the opportunity to upgrade their qualifications, and we will aim to make the teaching profession, once again, a proud choice.
If government can go ahead and finance it, then I think it's free, and it's very good for us if all these things can be made free for our students. Yeah, the experience we have had over the years is the fact that always we pronounce things to be free, but at the end of it all, they end up creating more problems for the system, because funds that are supposed to be released on time for execution of some of these things are normally not released. And when they delay, they distract the academic system. And so that is one issue that I will advise the government on, that if you have taken it upon yourself that these things are going to be free, which I think is very good, then we must do it well, finance it well, and then financing must be timely. That's the first aspect of it. Secondly, we also, as an association, want to plead with government that they should not allow it to stick to only senior high schools, because the basis is also very important, and so the junior high schools should not be forgotten. Such policies must also be extended fully to the junior high schools. We don't want a situation where we will say it by mass, and then when it comes to the implementation, it makes matters worse. Well, we have seen it over the years when promises are made. Capitation grant is there. It's supposed to be given at the beginning of the term, but sometimes 3 terms are in arrears before government decides to pay one. That becomes a problem, because the moment school is going to reopen, every material, every resource that is needed must be available to the school before school reopens. But I don't want a situation where schools reopen and close before funds are released. That is where our problem lies. So it is one thing saying that I'll do it. If government is committed to doing it, they should do it and do it well. If they cannot, then they should allow parents to pay and get quality.
All right.
Yasaba, Badwam Mpensenpensenmu, Ebro Mekase Lakeba Clinic for Adarama, and Royal Lighting Investment, Adarama, no matter say, or Kwanson Kuzu, bro. This issue is about free SHS, your first shot. ATN Kasan Sam 4 Akasakra on 0302 211701 up to 4. 0302 211701 up to 4. Now, me adma September academic calendar no free SHS Nana Dankwa Ekufuado, His Excellency Eddie Atuja. How do you see it? The opposite oka ewa honum Minister and Common 0302 211701 up to 4. Linda Otu, London. Good morning, and I dance also Jibril Linda Otu. Na Oshebi. Honorable, good morning. I'm saying.
Oh my, Adom na muso.
Honorable Prince Boko. Na ubutu here no pay.
Oh my, me butu alibo. Why baby am here? Why am here?
Okay, all right. It's you.
Oh my, edi ka me fa akonya osu emfanchia honorable police baby obi am here no. Eno say honorable police ba thank you to ebe na ni mo nyam be pie krudu mu ha. Na se ke se blade jomro 42 alibo for say omunya ne mudidie na omokoto abama no na assembly of kind during the time no okọ campaign nyina no da bo se no se nyina no na me adom oba me sei okakodu parliament no obehwe no abeboa ma elibo atimafa ne toma pefra na elibo soso mputuo na nka aka ati no oba ba beye oman edika ma me mo na adoda nkwakufu ado abaso se be what meti me ma me no mo hawo ene me papa mo hawo na what me declare say eni pe bi obeko SS bia no won ko ni free o man we ye adiskede kese pa na ese gana ni bia ko no ko mi ko to dwani ma bom pa e ma na adoda nkwa akufado because obeka ya o man na tama na ye NDC no na tata na minister no ye fe ni wokan won na ye minister of education ana na adoda nkwa 2012 na adoda nkwa akufado ka say obema free HS ni okra be ko gina simple so ka che Ghana ko nya say it's a lie enya no kule ama yenum biri ye campaign against na do dan kwaku for say entimi maso because ye sisi squad ye ana na do dan kwaku for do tina sia no WhatsApp na say 2006 no beba ama papa ne ba ye WhatsApp oba campaign oba kan susu dia say oba ma free HSS ama mana ba bontere na aje ba kwa na do dan kwaku for do aya Ghana ko nyina si e bona baso because we suku akasia suku yakono o my suku fees ne board dine tamani NDC too so school ne board dine
okay it's of fanya say order na do the Christopher come on na pom to say Christo. Hello Christopher, good morning. Pom to say
o man nyame adom
good it's you Christopher
me pacho o man we dey me chetie fo nyame me fa sa akonya we so me fenji
quite unfortunate yeah Christopher, paying for and say, hello, hi, Christopher Timinka. Good, young Koso.
Me first Akonya was not me Frenchia. Me.
Well, quite unfortunate. I'm saying Christopher and Timinka. Yes, hello, good morning. Upon to say. Hello, good morning. Upon to say. Quite unfortunate, a bit of challenge with our man, but. Number here 0302 211701 up to 4. 0302 211701 up to 4. Good morning. Apom to say. Hello, good morning. Oh, yeah, homano. Edi Yamo Kakra. Maruf, Takwa. Good morning. Also, ya chao. Oji Brown, so here besides na Rapti, Tony Good, Nana Cass, Anna Melvina, Monsieur Damasi. Sama Jibra Monso Moshebi. Tete, good morning. Apom to say Tete.
Debacle me way pa.
Good, you too Tete.
Debacle free SHS no de it's say a year pa na be bo man Ghana. E mo ade ba kwa me say na na kufu ade ne say. The feeding no no me hu say e ya de so pa because who feed nkwada wo Ghana nyina no. Any who says, who said, who feeds a feed in the Bahadina, only feeding in film. Not in no market in your fee, Japanese.
Yeah, that's it. That's so good morning, Eti saying.
Good morning. Good morning.
Well, that's what you know. It may say, don't be asking one. When you're quite a friend, you ain't to us. We're all a call about what to say. You've always been in white for the past like 10 days. What's the reason? Because this week is blue for me. I don't know why over the past 10 days you're always in white. What's the meaning? Any secret to that?
Well, white color be my paper.
I see. So that's all.
Yeah. So I love white.
And our free SH is not white. No? Free SH is not white. You be about constituency?
Yeah, me Adom Boko.
Yeah.
I think that over the weekend, no positive news be a PP more. There may be a good pipeline. More African and Yakupon Daroma. A PA.
No money being there.
I did back one that Jaboso about to impose you so far come so pa bako a Jaboso town roads. Until ya award contract in the way, no, na me bomb pa say a beba on by year you remember site and send to Abano. Unfortunately for me and to me ambasso, but Yankopon Daroma, I feel a contractor no. That paying for you more coin or barber shake median as this weekend me kaya na I say me team the kakra. But what is important is ye barber ye Jaboso town roads. That is what is important. Me kaya say emra ye last really His Excellency John Dramani Mahama Bahono or catch the one no say Jaboso town roads or Baho bi mo na nkanya miadom ye ba ababe bi. But edenya miase say abrewa ayi pomakwen a ye ba ababe. Yeah.
Well, a lot of your text messages I shall say but he's a former deputy minister, Lands and Natural Resources, MP for Jaboso, Communal Intercanda. Unknown night 2 and plus 1 member of parliament, no more could not send Libya. They are seeking interpretation and then if possible, court to no crown ebe train yema me utikwa fisa jaba. Ne ministerial na etimatenti no maybe ansana on so some be who say or so for. So as to how it goes or turn us to be your Supreme Court, you need the chair. Yeah, sure. But a lot of your text messages about Thomas Edu, Ibrahim Watakwa say, oh my good morning. It's good we have free SHS, but let's just wait for the best and pray for it to succeed. Ghanaians will benefit if it succeeds. Let's all embrace it. And also the Abba and from Frederick Kuma Wase Kropon, regular texter. It's just 1 month in office as the president of Ghana. And Nana Akufo-Addo is fulfilling most of his major promises within just a year. How could Ghana waste the last 8 years of our time to NDC and John Dramani Mahama? That's, if you sound like this, you are not also being fair to the situation. Somebody might also ask, what has he fulfilled? These are just kasa or kasa. And in political rantings and ravings, now every Ghanaian is wide awake. Please, let us not start this game. Let us think Ghana first before other things will follow suit. So that's it. Thank you very much. And this one also says, the new administration is setting a bad precedent for the forward march of Ghana. Innocent Ghanaians have been arrested and harassed, chased out of their workplaces with the suspicion of having loyalty to the former administration. But we have not heard any human rights group, peace council, pastors, imams talking. All of them lost their voices. I don't think we can unite the nation with this attitude. Alaji Willie P. Ewefi Kuma announced the way. But Dr. Prexy, good morning. Abraham Sabin entry. You don't know for Dr. Prexy or Praxy. Good morning. Gise Bea Kamasasna, Dr. Okonsu, and Ahmad Dokuya, Member of Parliament, also Yachao or Kwan Sonkosukwa. Oh,
yes, sir.
I just don't want us to go to this issue again.
It's unfortunate, though.
What's happening?
Didi Kai, Mamifa Konya with Islam.
Well, Mr. Nana Buman Kama 2017, I think that Adom NDC started a project what is a fiber optic no but they are almost completed. But I shall say on why if you from here to another, I don't know. Say I want the contractor any problem of quantity. The transmission, Nana, I came one mistake. What I remember, they say I drop so you avoid the transmission because sometimes network is bad. It do the far form corner and the corner is smooth.
Anyway, the Edika Mamentia yempayimfo ne won mamutie nyina enkanka won mamutie me fidwabo so abato mpasua so na menka say it's rather unfortunate say me feel say anka yedi amamu ehya ban bi nsemo a obe focus on mpuntuo na yenyina ya boa na ya debate niema oye no policies ne ade na no mom ede akoyanim but so ya ban now believe in intricacy. You know, and never be a Ghana baby do no. Obefi say, oh yeah, they be to smart and I say, okay. Bri obi ene so okay. My buy na aba no person me koto cars binom. Ghana fo be bisa me sade na makoto cars nta ma menka say the otwa mu koye no anya car bia wo ha enu nti. Ma men ni kan fa sa story ni to public domain nim. Na me koto cars ne ba amanfo antumi amisa ho asama na say o ma mom so.
Now I'm resort to this argument. Is that the case?
If it is not the case, if indeed it is not the case, then I don't see why this is going on.
Because in this case, the argument is that Ghana Japadiana nipe binima fa.
I'll come there. So I'm building the point. Yes, sir. The say somebody is simply doing propaganda or somebody was irresponsible. And if the irresponsibility bit comes in, and then we are in for trouble as a country. We are by me problem in candle. Okay? Me free office, no. You're handing over notes as a ministry. Ajapade bia ewum and you hand it over. And at this transition team, omushia yes, yeah, deputy ministers. They engage us. Okay? Inti abayin a eba any abanya ekono eshia. Nearby comes some hand over ebi any ashanya hodo. My information indicates say abanya okone ma wonomon krata as to the number of vehicles I'm handing over. Ama wonomo di omon sa say my information also indicates say papa ayiko uchu on dano. Okay? Anunti the responsibility bit. Anunti see a ma krata now the one sa say want to me and verify the whereabouts of the car is an responsibility of the highest order. And I don't think that is the case. Me ni say lawyer ni mapa. A very, I mean, obi a bun woman say I equate to. We take committee a manual obeyesa. Okay? Inti see a handy over now sign document ni we now sign bab wachi. Ebe catch and say, who cast na. Na se nye oka bia why waje so kwakoto. Now baba set agenda. Na imum Ghana fo bisa waka say oh me ba hen ma metoka bia. And look at some of the interesting revelations coming out. Oh, yati some of these arguments. Oh, you buy a nam see who cars in intino. Na kufu ado kra no. Ono ane car. No use to. Very funny. Into Avalon na bulletproof Avalon na at least 2 na. You John Dramani Mahama no use no so you at least two 4x4 cars bulletproof no and no so you in any case, if not all, most of the appointees in Ghana have been biako. Inti say nya bibia mo pese mo set agenda bia. Na say ye the document mama it is easily traceable. You bet what you say papa ye nkrata yi mu kire say car bi den e wo ho another outgone chief of staff another outgone chief director at the Flagstaff House. For me, it is an unnecessary tension we are creating in the system.
Unnecessary tension.
It is an unnecessary one, sir.
When the belief is that Abambi all corners society cars at the court.
So what cheap now you are trying to be fair to me?
Why would Abba also be 2 sides?
That is it. Because that is
here to create this chaos and confusion.
If that is not it, na say aban kan so ayira keke so a eno so ebetimi atrezi a ye ven ko tra PBC so ye nyina ye tik oman mu. Don't forget how say ugu manimase na ugu no enye me nko a o, you are carrying the whole Ghana along. Ghana nyina na e di e ho fell in the international arena. So what I say, for me a very simple matter. You know, some of these things and then I shall say I am for bidding for bonphobia more MPP more, most such as a more for fee illegally. Now, one attack for no reason. Omo sha say omo yes ano. Na Ghana for binum register omo displeasure. And the chief of staff ne ba bontin ebe formalize no. And ye nka bibi ntum say oh, nkofo na mo sha say nipa bonfo na mo sha say ne ma na mo ye no. Empa na mo bi nyasro bi. You see how the whole thing was developing? Are we children in this country? Are we children in this country? Oh, it will share the whole issue. In any case, I said I'm also be Iran. Also, who are the cry Iran? I said I'm also be Iran. So we are challenging, and we started challenging them since last week. Say, buying a wakono, okono, or by publishing the full list of vehicles I handing over the man warnum. And the chassis numbers, and the go abonting. Inti car ben, specifically car ben, and Ira and Nunti Moran.
Okay, my main King Kai Kate, but some King Kai Sakata, my ma, Debia me who honorable penna, Lumba Numna Bessimity, come now Kufu, or ya car quent you. He said on car quent you, or Buffy, or Buffy. I see more of natural resources around you. Oh, Makaba. I just bro. Nyamese me fan to so say we are chief executive. Would you two man on into?
I my TF1 no have for nyina.
Why refuse to get Jamaica?
Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo, President of the Republic.
Because I didn't go jai
on na bedi actually
last years.
Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. No abusia. Baba. Nyame na ye.
Nyame. Adum bi keke.
Adum bi o. Se de bia na mka kire mo.
I see.
Me mentie. Se me afrase ha na mtie.
No, that's what you. I had a majority seat, and I had a minority. But still,
as I should buy my idea. What trophy now you make? Me as a program as Syria now batch as a majority.
Without our parliament, without our parliament, or corporate. I have got to you are saying about the table. I have got to majority leader.
I see. Okay, so
many are disseminating what both of them. I just said,
Matter the propaganda.
Or Manchester, yeah, page now, yeah, so you're the BBR, yes, baby, you're queering.
But where are these letters coming from? Okay, so 29th October 2008. Say, I'm gonna pay you. Say, NDC MPP. Sale of official saloon car. Approval has been given to you to purchase your official saloon car with registration number GR 528X at the Intercity STC Coaches Limited valuation price of 800 Ghana cedis. The amount is to be paid into the Chief of Staff's account number 0 blah 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 at the Bank of Ghana, and proof thereof together with an application for authority to transfer the ownership of the vehicle to you submitted to this office for necessary action. We anticipate your usual cooperation on this matter, and is signed LB Tusu, Chief Director for Chief of Staff and Minister for Presidential Affairs, and is Honorable Nana Komia, Minister, Ministry of Manpower, Youth and Employment, Accra. And this one, we remind that petition pursuant to application to purchase duty vehicles numbered EU blah blah blah. Your letter dated 25th March 2010 on the above subject refers. Approval has been given for you to purchase Peugeot 407 saloon car with registration number blah 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 as part of your end of service as political appointee at the Intercity STC Coaches Limited valuation price of 2,200 Ghana cedi. You are to pay the amount into the non-tax revenue account number blah 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 at the Bank of Ghana, and submit proof thereof together with an application for authority to register the vehicle in your name. We anticipate your usual cooperation, and is signed LB Tusu, Chief Director for Chief of Staff, and I have Honorable Gloria Efia Ekufu, Miss, also's name here. So, what is this seeking to achieve?
Yes. Let me. You will come there. Say,
what is this seeking? And then we have the beneficiaries also here. This is 2008. I see. Charles Bintim, Mrs. Fremont Parry. We have this one, Honorable Papa Usu and Honorable Boniface A. Gambila, Mr. George Hika Banson, Mrs. Giftyohini Kunadu, Joseph Kwakunyan, all these names are coming up here. So what is
can
that
I have my
supposed
bite
to?
on this?
No,
Please?
hold on, Emma, I don't know why Ghana will be doing this to itself. Please, what is the solution to the current problem?
There's no problem in the first place.
Okay,
there's no problem.
Mama, a tearful in the Afunia Chibio.
Or take a course with be Bantman free move.
Sapa
the watching us also.
And run a question there. I hene Tenasema Adolfo Bessume. Indian more Bantmas, this winning. Now no grab me and I'm Sobeba. Okay, I call race course now. Why say,
yeah.
My brand here or him a year.
Yeah, meant
yeah, ya can't do him.
I think Yasha see a crack car who's in the yeah.
And yeah, now why you working come and go back to me?
Free association.
Must say
some officials in the Israel National Democratic Congress government purchased some of the state vehicles listed as missing by the new government. According to the member of parliament for Ningo Prampram, Samuel George, about 271 of the vehicles, allegedly missing vehicles from the present vehicle pool, were purchased by some officials of the former government.
Full stop. Yeah. It is era Sam George. Wakano nano memne de twemu. Se cars a bank cars about 271.
Yeah.
Yatonama officials. Yes sir.
Yeah.
Until 271. Anna free abankesi ma basisi se cars ni mu be 208 yehunu. Yes sir. Until minu ya wa ha minim no pa na asoya ofri lands and natural resources no a deputy minister ho na no etna se nhwehwemu na edin sawoso the sector minister honorable John Peter Mewu and then penifo aka na yewo committee no so yehwehemu hu say as deputy minister ne car wamfa anko oja no ho
Ovanko. Oja Magana.
Nti se ye pai afase a
who the offer way
pra na wada enti kwamna da se me betna hai ni ye hwehwemu ni hu se
ka no wo de
koya ye be ka ho asem afa de anko eno so nkire se obia te se wo tie srew o ma asem ne ye ka me japade enye MPP na enye NDC ena enye kwan obi pa akotoka ene de ye ka ya woken ewo sisemu ono a wonim co ministry so ne ade ka di bia official ka bi o di 4 years a asese sesa no nim bia ne na yi de bi wa 4 years
bi 2 years
bi 4 years bi 4 years enti se aban foforo aba na asese otoka ebesom o mai enya de bia
so say so
meba nya de bia wanwa ya de foforo bi
so say so
but enya se ade ye hwehwe ade ye hu na ye kobie ya no ne yekoka wa wuni pass 271 ye toma amanfo so ton ye toma amanfo no na wo behia sampa ye behunu nkratem so ye behwe nkratem ampa se kwamna kokofu ye ma no akwanya nam mrakwan so ana ye ohye ma no ampa ya transfer ama no we nyina ya ade ho behia asese Ghana fo hu se na mrakwan so ana ye ne aton amu ni ana ye transfer ama na afi na ho ada ho din so na nkoba ne sa na ewo pool mu se oman cars nyina ye sei na afi ye hwehwe bi ne ye hu na ye busasia because say Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo the president
we are subject to change. My understanding is that Sam George were denied, say he's never made that pronouncement to that effect that 271 cars and NDC for the coin. So probably
na say dodo no no ka ho asema na
we'll cross check from Sam George right now.
Just say dodo no enye 271 ana say wan ka sa akra say officials bi ato cars ni bia na.
Okay, you try some.
Good. It is a CIS need the way I'm the bedroom.
No, that's it. I've just been prompted.
And to say yes, son, no more bontin dear.
Say propaganda.
Propaganda.
In your case, Well, you were free. But
no, it's not about me.
Also,
personalize it.
Pacho.
No.
It's not personalizing.
No, in your case,
in your case, see, ministry, ministry,
no,
it's not about ministry.
It's not about me. It's about the outgone government and the incoming.
But it's department, agency, and ministries.
No, it's not about personalization. Don't personalize it.
No, you are a good example here simply because.
No. That is not the point.
Now,
when he finishes, I'll explain the issue.
Okay, so
he's misleading the whole population.
Misleading
and then gross propaganda.
Evidence-based. And may a part of the transition team, subcommittee of lands and natural resources. Minister also say, Honorable John Meta Mewu, or no, Diano. Yeah, number would you
don't personalize it. I mean, I know also, madam.
They said you know. It's always say, I'm going to have a complaint. Yeah, but you can't know the morning.
Enti makwa go office or we engineers you.
I'm a gas system.
Yeah,
I'm come I left. Me, my friend S34. Atria me didi yet okay. Table, center table, yet okay. Yet again, you know.
Yeah, why we? According to Wunia Sam George. Nana Carter maybe the free
hold us.
Maybe who is them cracked. Mama Tun have been at the enemy.
Sam George.
Enti Yenuya Sam George or say na adwin pomu de cars be 271 ya ton e de ama aban a atwam kon mpanifuo bi nkrofo bi menka say ebone aban o say asomi hu enti se sa na te de a na hu behia se obi bia se ye ton bi ma wo sa ojaden krata beba ne ahwe ampa o na ne kwan so a because nipa bone nso so wo ye bia wo de wa famra kwan so wa apply ya ma approval wa to but wo be obi no no de afa ho wa no de ko.
It's true.
Enti mama ye play ostrich which ABC de biarada
no but clearly ebi beti besi
na nkra ye nkra sesi amaba
before ya na ewia
sesi amaba ha
that's another information coming out
sesi amaba ha
mu beto ye no ma sha se bisi forces na from cars
ayi kwame sesi kwame sesi amaba ha meka mapaki na bontin obi betimi awia yeti o mem ha ana confiscated vehicles ewo port mo krachifo amdo o moto anu wiaye mu yiyi biadi abakonkra benzo was ho anwa
was in the vehicles be no so presidency kokokoko bi no
tina o mu wia ka krofo ka sa de aba port a ye beye ene ho ahwan mu ye enti ye de bo no to so kese na ka Wilson ene ne krofo the records are there a babontie ba ko wa krate enti the port no obi na kra de aba ni ade mutimi nipa da sanitimi wia free port upon all the security national security hwan de pie kwa abontena na de wa ban mu e de ama no so ofanya adwuma ohwe aban na gu obi anya ana otimi fanko no onkote number plate mfiri ho mama man nyesa o man ade ne ye kan na se me ba meti kukuku na aban pe so okoto kanti no yesa what na bam 8 years. How many times now I buy a crack cars at the bread a may adwuma yet parliament ya buy the packaging in our parliament me no can say I buy a crab be good parliament to see am e mu buses any mu cars about chair mu akra go mo crackers yi ba me no wo parliament ya my kwan ya my car loan as you see our car loan mun sabeka ama ya body akọ crackers enti car kra e de ya o man adwuma de enya de a na mom de se bi o hodada de a ni ade ye adwuma ne be ye a ni ahwehwe ne ehuna enti me enka ho asem me ye musa na mo de machire gyae Ghana for ye be free ba mu asese ebu akonta kire Ghana.
But what is worrying and it's number one everything what they about to ask or no issue in the car every 10 years. Is this fair to the country Ghana?
Number one.
Nana do Danko Akufo-Addo, Ghana's president. The number one gentleman. We show no car.
Oh, we saw no car.
What's the meaning of that?
Oh, you saw no meba. Oh, you saw
me for moderation. Let me reduce you to this, please. Don't do that. Don't do that. Please. No, anybody say.
Oh, you see, no one car.
Oh, anybody say. It's dangerous for us as a country.
Oh, you see, no one car. Based on near Oba Bem or Betru, you know who.
So James didn't
No, we are no,
that's what they are saying.
Trouble. Based on your Oba Bem or Obihunu Koi or Bihunu. What you say? A bet me about say, official care or as you so. And you may be or who be a say, and not be. What you say? Just so if see, I may come, you should come around them. I want. Oh, who quite so yada, Janafe. It be another break, you know, I was such a medium pensa, but be an own pensa.
And Wakasacho,
so, Bia, now, Ayo, engine oil, medium son of Busumi, be out of a pesse, and Kabia was some filter, one son. A bit of me to for win him, dear, a woman in a cocosi say. Yaba bem, near Modia Ja, near Mokoye, me and Yabutre, and now don't cook for the Bamra Sebi. First State of the Nation address. Obema or man for no whom or mining in a source de tea. Near not by ye, what be whom. And then near your dear Jano.
So, by inference, Nanado or car, or my gun or car, Eman Nanado, maybe a security advice and a spiritual advice, and I say family advice. No, and I so please. So, please. What is stopping Nanado from telling us once the letter about Bontin, Abeka, yeah, or about Kandom, so then I will see a coin, says Antrim, we say, you didn't chimut biba, say Nanado Dankwa H or no any BMW, which is highly dangerous to hear as a country. I don't know if Chimumba car, President cars, a year ago, the other 2 years, even if it's one. Not reasons in my day to intimidate us.
So, per reason, I come remember the old horn say, or Yenejuma, or Koba, or Diakoniaba, or Koba. I can assure you,
Magana and Abon,
I can assure you,
Ghana, the bamboo,
they say the bamboo is intact. I can assure you, the security of the president, the vice, anyone want a wabemu here says, or mineable home baby, they are secured. With him, or Koba. Okoba oyene dwuma said the sefata emerepam na antina obi agaze ontun kotena plaster house this year.
Most of the presidents, that's what they've adopted. President Kufuor, Professor Mills late, and then I think most of our presidents, what they've adopted, you go for Flagstaff house 3 seconds beer, near relax habits na ifi. You go for Flagstaff 3 seconds beer. So it's not out of order for if you want something. But card yeah.
President Kufuor, na castle or a 1 bedroom flat. Or now on the bush now and
okay.
And now President Mills, the former president late. Already also now President Kufuor see Flagstaff house, no some debate in Kukubu. Nti ehun hia. Nti na chese ohun so be ko ho.
So na making the point. Wadaroma.
Na ohun so be ko ho. Na President Mahama de nso na ye si Flagstaff house na we o move ko ho. Ba se be ya obegya ne dan na o timu wo ayi ho no street in is it. What's what is it? I hear. They no vice president or timu. No ope. Na niji. Nti na ohun so betu ho akotena Flagstaff house. Nti na chese Flagstaff house ana asan ho ha we so o my de asan wo no ho. Na danko akufuado na aduro no so. Oba busumi ne famu an ewe ototo ne ma ya mrepam no obekra owako
kobra em say emra so say Ghana ye nyini ko yenim ne ma bi wo
asa because ono bo ni actually ade be ba menkin kai man pacho. Well, honorable in Obuasi former Mashebedwani and ono so din sem bia ba say Kwabena Minta Kando get out of the Good morning, Omani. Please remind Honorable Akando that the election is over. His party lost the election heavily, so he should stop his style of always being a propagandist. His contribution this morning, for me, is not convincing at all.
Why will he be convincing to somebody, an MPP, a former member of parliament, and all? My conversation very convincing to him. And he's not the person I'm pleasing this morning. So with the greatest zero of respect, when I'm submission,
okay,
it be a bit pleasing in Pafufro.
Okay.
Omahini. Oh, Omana Yachino. Edu baby I was here kind of career, permanent kind of career. Until I make us it's not about me. And nunti baby yakoi very soon names be bring so be san about bonting. Imagine enye new awa yemrem okay
It's conventional.
A conventional say even civil servants, not necessarily politicians. My chief director in my ministry, or you should car for more than 2 years, or be apply now at all. A conventional. And it's not as if say this is the first time at AC we have a list of MPP for a man no move for a no more apply or more there. We have a list. If that is the direction we go, we'll bring those lists. So it's not if I get opportunity. That's a main to it be a minister.
More of a list now MPP for now.
That is I know I mean who say it is it I say propaganda and no more because look, as an Alberto Kano, you must write a letter to the chief of staff. And you do the to the chief of staff. It is a letter be a correspondence be a your file house or course in money na guso. And send Alberto Kano and a copy of a letter must necessarily go to a government nipa obe evaluate Kano. In this case, intercity.
Yeah.
And send Alberto Kano cars ni bi wo kra na o ma hene na ye ntua taxes minimum bi oto Kano nu ne ho. Ye value car ni ma ni we no fi say car ni bo ano no. Nti okoye no na enam say ya buy car ti ntua tax e wo so nti ye de ma individual dia e wo say wo clear car no say wo yie fra bochi no meanwhile we dey get traces car no nti wa ko wani mun ye ko achenye wo ka say wo koje osika afri aban wa eden nti wo say nipa no go ahead and in this case a minimum tua as high as 8,000 Ghana cedis as duty as high as 10,000 Ghana cedis as duty nko now tua nti omo so steps for so e wo letter ni bi ansa na wa ko DVLA not to say one letter because our process we mu nyina they will never transfer the car into your name it when nyina no say we abanya it is not easy it is not what they call difficult to check at all I am right so that cannot be described as stolen or missing cars it is in the system that is and in any case the American nyina it doesn't apply to 4x4 vehicles it's only saloon cars above 2 years Obia was say abanya man the car just on the car 4x4 no we it only applies to saloon cars so it cannot be described as the information reaching us indicates say emra ye handing over bibia we na visible forces say nyina ni omo tisi mu of Flagstaff House the way they invisible forces.
How do they have the
invisible forces?
That's what Badwam Mpensenpensenmu. It's not easy to move such things. It is not as easy as you want to put it.
Listen. If it is not easy, we are here in this country. Who say invisible forces be together with securities in the Flagstaff House teamed up. It is not. You are telling me it's not easy.
What's why they?
Maybe. See, so obenya botia tria ke beboa. What say you catch them say easy, but it is easy for invisible forces to go and mingle with security forces in the Flagstaff House and go and attack personalities. Is that easy? Oh, didn't it happen in this country?
Yeah.
If you know to go Dubai or buy and
Yeah.
So that is what is happening. It is inwardly no setting no munyai sade no moye
just a minute for
so it's that issue of cars no a opportunity and even before they even go ahead to even apply that convention it was an agreement between the transition team na Urbano and the Econ. No more agree. Oh, and I'm saying this on authority.
Now a transition team.
I am. Why? You think that Uncle have access to the information?
Your friend is saying.
So Munjai, I will be a sermon.
Okay, you hold on just a minute. 90 era, Sam George, Honorable Member of Parliament.
Yeah.
The exact words I'll put you out so that we will know what really the situation is. Okay, so whilst we are waiting, whilst we are, okay,
colleagues chose to buy their cars. I, for personal reason, declined to buy my car. I returned my car to the Director of Logistics at the Office of the President. We've put out a list of 641 vehicles. We handed over, if my memory is right, 370 vehicles to the Assets and Logistics Committee. I spoke to the outgoing Director of Logistics, who was a political appointee. He was responsible for the fleet, because when I needed any vehicle, he brought me my Camry. He's the one I always went to when we needed vehicles. He took care of the president's trips every time a vehicle fleet was going out. And I called him and said to him, tell me how many vehicles you handed over. He said, we handed over 370 vehicles. These vehicles were physically inspected by the Assets Committee, led by Lawyer Ikweotu. Now, of this 370, you see there's a disparity of between 370 and 641. It's because 271 saloon cars were purchased by staffers who had put in a request to purchase their vehicles, which were 2 years and above. Now, with purchasing the vehicles, what happens is that when you put in a request to the Chief of Staff to purchase your vehicle, he gives a letter for you to take to STC. State Transport Company does a valuation of the vehicle. That valuation is given to you and you bring it back to the Office of the President. You sell the vehicles after the election. You cannot sell the vehicles to the people before the election. You can't sell to people before the election. You only sell after the elections are done and dusted. You know that people are leaving office. I can bet you, in 2000 and very few vehicles were sold between the Mills Mahama, switching into the Mahama.
Okay, all right,
Beautiful.
271 in between. The intent of people to buy. If his memory serves him right,
640 cars. Yes, sir. And identify say my car. Now, hand over no. Mention lawyer. Senior lawyer, I could only receive on behalf of the transition team. Hand over 370. And tonight, just say, if you can finfini. The I can finfini no say, staff will need be say, Omubeto. Yes. A honor seminal. We are so better. Asu, and Amraquano Swana. That is another issue. Ceciano, your review and cratem. Man fa mo handi over no man fa krata kire se kofi manu atobi abna tobi ya tobi kwasi to oh no kasa wante oh meba krata na ko SCC no meba difference na
it's all in the system including DVN
difference
you have the machinery check those
difference na ka 271 no I say o man hine apply to bia STC for valuation ni bibia. Nyanu ani say any weti ye yi ba ko afrim. Kwamna kokofu apply to bi. Ehun krata.
Why am I checks on that?
Yeah, checks no
which vehicles are missing.
Oh,
now,
let us ask some judge. Let us ask some judge. Sa 271 now which vehicles are involved?
No, now it is clear. It is clear that nipa minimum any intent is on okay, through that intent now, him for to go through the process.
Yes.
Him for about to start the process.
Yes.
And him for deliberately they want to keep it. They didn't call for more. Or more you sure more than quiet. Who knows some years ago?
And then you go so. I know the
So why put all this information as you say? We are there. Now you know that legitimately there is an option that there could be cars that could be purchased after 2-3 years.
Say what you may want. Now some more boy auction. Now we show interest.
Dominic show interest. So Mabe Fabako
on how they call
on SCC process. Yes. Mabe Fabako. Minyan call through the SCC process. But the records of multimedia indicates that this number of cars, amount for be declare intent to say on person. It's incumbent upon the over taking over from a year. Some confirm declare intent.
Yes.
Emudiana go through the process.
Yes.
Emudiana they are just about to set the process. Emudia want him deliberately omudia fetch from the 3 stages. Why checks when you now?
Kwamna tobo anka ne papa mu a cars ni sisi ho. Eti wo na wo intent a wo process no mu no. Wo wie wo process na ko tua car na de abefa car ne ko.
That is even not true in the first
place.
You don't know the process.
Okay,
you don't know that you can't keep the car in the pool.
Musu betimi aboa amanke enu sa dede yo we nyina mu.
I don't know wo ba ye no. Dem how simple. What catch them say niam wa ha yedu.
Yeah.
I saw the mommy.
What
the mommy no wa ma nsia. What dey say? Wa ma nsia. Enti ampa makan ma hunu nsia no. Nso won kratam se du. Enti kwamra me ni wo kwase busa se nan na aka no. Ewe. Na se me busa na wontimi nkire me de a. Na Ghana for man no so ye Ghana for de a. Enye na nado dan kwaku fo ado ne na fa asutire eso yi Ghana fo asutire say ya anu wey maja pade na ese de ama me na won kratam say wa mame ya mame so many no ebiaka a me hunu ye enti wo na oba be ba bonten abeka say oh de wo hunu ye no me de ba ko ama o man hene ehun sika ni otia ehun kratam ni me de ba ko ama kwamna kando ehun sika ni eni kwamna kokofu nso ba ko wo de ho na chese ye kekasi ani a na bedru dodo na wa wotu wanum tuo.
On this car matter, MPP, you failed Ghanaians. Is that the
case? They are failed.
Not at all.
On this car matter.
No, sir, we are telling
the truth. Are you powerless?
We are telling the truth.
Are you powerless?
Enunchi free
no. Are you powerless as a party or government in
task force no? Task force.
But the task force letter, the content of the letter, what are you menu for? The chief of staff declares that she's been informed. Yes, she's not aware.
Yes,
she's been informed that XYZ is going on. With that information, did he cross-check what has gone on and what is going on before putting out that letter?
Exactly. Nanyana Sam George Abeke.
Why do we have to rely on Sam George?
You rely on him because he was part, integral part of the whole transition process. Also, my friend logistics director. Me busy is a card don't was sending you. Send nobody among.
Go through process. Go through process. Why do we have to go through this? Free SHS. Look at what we are discussing.
Propaganda. Yeah, propaganda.
Free SHS. But look at what we are discussing. Hold on. Why would the NDC, some of them, deliberately take idea, even if they intend to say a person, unim say a change your mind, go through the process. Why wouldn't you willingly, as a good citizen, tell whoever is in charge that this is me, I have this car?
Then 2000,
what is this?
2016 June,
what is
2016 this? November, 2016 August. One put you in applications over top. Now 2016 December. After night, I had declared another
we have a lot on our hands as a country.
SHS, so the topic
in the first place. Answer you should be able to identify the IRA.
Yes.
Yes. That is the basic question.
Yes.
But they've identified.
Please.
They've identified.
Please, can I
they have identified. They have.
The
government comes out that 208 cars are missing.
There you go. Look, answer the catcher me say, what will be the iron? Catcher me say, me funi S1 Nokia. Me unique number. What I say?
Ghana point out.
Who betu anu mutio say, oh me phone ayira. Obi atumika. Iti ka ben pa na ayira no. So that we can trace it.
It's unfortunate.
It's a good place. So if I declare intent, it is not an ordinary intent. It is backed by document.
Oh, backed by now.
No.
Showroom.
Chief of staff. Emma Krata. Na Krata no. Yama to your ministry. He's talking about Nema Casa.
But the information that is coming out is even decoded.
Invisible forces nafa.
Invisible forces.
Information also. In the first place, ministries.
The only acquisition
listen, so cars be over, we need to take the mechanic. Cars be over also hand over. You don't necessarily go and hand the car over at the Flagstaff house.
Eco ministry, department or agency.
Exactly. If the cast they hand it over Mamono, that's a hand over trade. It doesn't mean says $600 million. Okay. In my ministry, they say some God is I cut 271. Now cast no way. It's not.
We need to discuss more. One of the finest promises of Modiama Ghana for more person will implement free SHS.
Sure.
But Gutafor should not be part of the Ghana at 60 celebrations. So because 20 million Ghana cedi is not outrageous. It's not.
Oh.
Gutafor say it's not. But listen to the argument before you say Ghana for in every project, there are always estimates. So I will describe this as one of those estimated projects. It's not match pass. Mr. Romanya propaganda. It's not just match pass.
What is that? What is it? What is the honorable Nika? All of a sudden, let's see. I want to sue.
And then they will hear me.
Who is that?
I mean, the political party guys say a party that is in government and we are by I'm holding. Yes, I'm part of it. I can't be a spectator. I am an insider. Well,
I don't want to be a PR.